Welcome to this free immigration help channel. Today is September 7, 2023, and we are getting into the volume 151 of me answering your immigration related question. As always, before beginning this video, I'm going to mention I am not an immigration attorney. This is not a legal advice. All the information provided in these videos on this channel are directly from official government sources like USCIS, and of course the Department of State with their visa bulletin. Also, I wanted to mention I am very sorry that I have not been making these videos for quite some time now. I have been moving, but almost done settling, so now I think I will be able to be back to consistent schedule of me answering your questions every day. Hopefully, we will see. But if not, I apologize in advance. Okay, let's start with the very first question for today from My Year of Open Door Prince Kell. 5087. Hello, can I send the I-130 form online? If yes, how can I sign the form online? So yes, the form I-130 is available online. In fact, let me actually use this opportunity to demonstrate some navigation on USCIS.gov, which is the official government website for US citizenship and immigration services. I will paste the link in my response so that you can just click on the form so that you have it. But this is what the front page looks like. You can find this link for this website in the description below. This is what the front page looks like. We're going to click on Forms at the very top, right here in the navigation menu, Forms. And then we're going to click on All Forms right here. Click on that. And this will give you all of the immigration, no thanks, not at the moment with the feedback, all of the immigration forms that are available from USCIS. So you can either scroll down to find the form I-130, they're in alphabetic numerical order, or you can type in 130, click enter in the search, and there you go, petition for alien relative. And as you can see, it is available to file online at the moment. The reason why I said the moment is because this stuff changes consistently. A lot of applications, they become available online, and then there's some changes. They're no longer available. So as of today, it is available. So make sure to check the updated version, obviously, if you're watching this video, 6 months, a year down the road. But currently, it is available to file online. So whenever it comes to the online applications, what you are doing at the end of the application, you are doing the online certification, and basically you are just typing in your full name, and that's it. And that goes as basically the signature on the regular paper application. That counts as online certification because you're filling out the form online. So the process is very, very straightforward. In fact, I would highly recommend for anybody who's dealing with immigration, filling out the application, petition, whatever it is, I would highly recommend, if the form is available to file online, I would highly recommend filing it online. Why? Because it prevents a lot of mistakes on end user, on our end. And at the same time, it makes it much, much faster for processing because you're not dealing with all the mailing to the PO box and then people getting it from the PO box to the immigration officer's desk, and then you get the point. So what I'm gonna do is I am gonna post my response to your comment right here, and I will post the link right here so that you have this page right here, which is the page for the I-130 petition. And I do have the video on how to fill out the form I-130 step by step. It's not online application, it is a paper application, but it's very similar to for the most part, the same question. So the order of the questions might be different, but for the most part, it's the same questions that are being asked. So if you're watching that video of me filling out the paper application along the way as you fill out your online application, it will be very helpful. You can find this video on this channel. Okay, let's move on to the next question from user VU8CJ. I'm very sorry, YouTube no longer shows me the names, they just show the handles. I don't know why they did it, but that's it. So the user says, hey, I have lost my travel document. Any advice? Okay, so let's see. I think there's two more from the same user. Hey, I have approved for my travel document but never received it. Any advice? Okay, so that changes the situation a little bit. And then the next one, hey, I have approved for my travel document. Oh, so it's the same thing. Okay, so now it's a little bit different of a situation where you lose the travel document. I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, with the travel document, if you do lose it, it is on you. So you have to actually apply for a whole new travel document, which is definitely an inconvenience. But this does not apply, and I'm not sure if it's 100% correct. It was like this probably like 4 or 5 years ago whenever I was dealing with the travel documents. But it does not apply to you anyway, because it was actually it was lost on the way to you, it seems like. So in your situation, you should have the receipt number. Hopefully you do, the original receipt number that you have received from USCIS, which is a notice of action, basically them saying that, hey, we have received your I-131 application, blah blah blah. And then you should have had your, either if they done the biometrics appointment, you should have had that probably along the way, but you should have also had the approval notice from USCIS saying that, hey, we have approved your I-131 application and you should be receiving your travel document soon. So with those notices, you have to reach out to USCIS and let them know that you have never received the I-131. And it's things like this happen. Sometimes it's our end user kind of fault, and we're moving this and that, and stuff happens. But it's the post service, it works pretty good, but it's not perfect. So sometimes things do get lost. So there is a chance that your travel document might have lost on the way. So definitely you need to reach out to USCIS and let them know that you have never even received your travel document at all, and you should do it as soon as possible. So the best way to do it is call USCIS, and I know it's not as easy. I will give you the link for their phone number from, we don't have to start it from the I-130 page, but from the main page of USCIS website, you can just scroll all the way down and you'll see contact USCIS right here. And right here we should have, let's see, you can visit, but we don't need to. Actually, that's it right here, USCIS Contact Center. This is what we need. Let's see, live assistance. There we go. Call. There you go. Our toll-free number. So here it is. Here's the phone number. Definitely call them up and let them know, and then they will walk you through. Most likely they will have you send a few documents by mail. Most likely the cover letter saying that it's a regular basically letter of you typing, hey, my name is this and that, my address is this and that, you identify yourself, I had a case, and you type in the information for your case, your application for travel document, and you never received it, and you will attach the approval and you will send it to them. But if you call this number, it will take some time, trust me, to get to the live person. You will have to go through some prompts, quite a lot of prompts, unfortunately, but you can definitely get to the live person, and that's really the main thing that you want to do right now, is to report this travel document lost. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste this here as well, just to make sure that you don't miss my response. And we're gonna move on to the next question from Shabana Khan 730. Shabana, thank you very much for another comment, for another question. Really appreciate it. So Shabana says, hi sir, my priority is currently at NVC. Okay, so it's current on the graph B on the visa bulletin, but I didn't get my I'm assuming you did not get your welcome letter as yet. My case is F11, which is a subcategory of F1, first priority, first preference category, sorry. It's been a while, you see, first preference category in the family immigration, family reunification cases. And it's September 2017. So let's take a look at, I know your priority date now, let's take a look at the visa bulletin as of September. And we're gonna scroll down to the graph B, because we are talking about the welcome letter. We are talking about this being current, the priority date being current with NVC, receiving the welcome letter before you can start your documentary qualification process. So F1 is right now actually showing all chargeability 1st September 2017. So it's current as of like 6 days. And you are okay, so you didn't put your date in September, which date it is. Okay, so if you are, I mean, regardless whether you are, September, well, it might play, it's very interesting on how they make this the whole visa bulletin work, right? Visa bulletin is an overall average of which priority dates becoming current right now, because you have to keep in mind that in every case the situations might be different. For example, in my personal case, whenever I was petitioning for my relatives, there was actually a substantial delay along the process. So if you have a delay, and the delay, it was my fault because I've sent the wrong documents. I give out advice online, and I send in. I didn't send the wrong documents, but I didn't send enough documents. All right, I'll give a disclaimer. But and it caused about 3 months of delay. So if you have that, depending on how long, that there was that delay, you might be waiting a little bit longer than what the visa bulletin is showing, because the visa bulletin is, again, average of all the cases that are out there. Depending on what day in September your priority date is, let's say, for example, you are, September 15th. Well, as of right now, the visa bulletin is on September 1st. And I know it's only 2 weeks, but, maybe in the next 2 weeks you will receive that welcome letter. So what I would recommend you, Shabana, I would give it another month. Just let's go through September, and let's see, actually, because in the next 5 days, maybe a week max, we should have an October visa bulletin. So when we look at the October visa bulletin, if for F1 graph B the dates move from September to October, then it means that all of the cases that with the priority date in September, and I know it's pretty convenient because it's September in September, it means that they will be covered, and you should expect your welcome letter by the end of September 2023. But if it is still in October, if it is still on September 2017, that means that there are still some cases that are waiting, and I would recommend waiting a little bit longer. Honestly, if it's about 2-3 months past the priority date being current and no action is happening on your case, and that goes for everyone. And trust me, I know, when you hear the words "be patient," it's kind of annoying. I understand that completely, and I can personally relate because I'm an immigrant myself, and I petitioned for, my family members, and some family members will be waiting for a very long time, very, very long time, like more than 10 years, long time. So I can personally relate whenever, the whole patience situation. It's not very, sometimes it's not very nice to wait. But this is just how the system works. This is part of the deal. So again, if it's 2-3 months past your priority date and nothing is happening, it's no reason to panic just yet, because like I said, in each individual case, you might have a little bit of delay here, delay there, that accumulates in a little bit longer than what the visa bulletin is showing. That's normal. But if you are going now past 2-3 months and you see the visa bulletin moving along, so let's say if we go into October visa bulletin, and now it is on October, and then we go into November, and now it is in November, now you're 2 months behind basically, then I would definitely recommend reaching out to the NVC, submitting a public inquiry with the NVC, and actually letting them know that, hey, my priority date has been current for this long, for 2 months, for 3 months, and I still did not get my welcome letter. But Shabana, once you do get that welcome letter, please come back to this channel. I'm sure you will, but just wanted to let you know, please come back to this channel and let everyone know, because it's nice to hear the questions from people, of course, realizing that you're not the only one going through a similar situation, but it's very reassuring to hear, from people that I finally got my welcome letter, I finally got my interview scheduled, I finally got, my application approved. It is reassuring that these things are moving along. Okay, let's move on to the next question from Sagal Abdullahi 6693. F1 family preference visa 2016 April priority date. All right, let's take a look at the visa bulletin. We're going to look at the graph A just to see the full length of how long you should be expecting before the availability of the immigrant visa now. Not the NVC portal opening up, because I think since you are in 2016 and the graph B on the visa bulletin as of right now is in September 2017, you are 1 year ahead of that. So I'm thinking that you are already possibly documentarily qualified. So we're going to look at the graph A for that matter and see where. So it is on January 2015 and it's for all chargeability. Again, if you are in any of the 4 countries that have a separate chargeability area like China, India, Mexico, or Philippines, obviously you will be looking at corresponding graph right here, the columns. But for the purposes of this answer, I'll assume that you are in any other country, not these 4 countries. So you're in all chargeability area, and it's in January 2015. So January 2015, and you said you are in, let's see, April 2016. So you are just over a year away. Actually, no, you're less. Is it you're less or more? My math is pretty bad. That's why I deal with this legal issues, not the math, and unfortunately I have to deal with a lot of math with the visa bulletin. But you're about a year away from the availability of the immigrant visa, and I'm thinking if my math is correct, you're less than a year because it's in January 2016. No, you're more than a year because it's in January 2015 and you're April 2016. So you have about 1 year and let's see, January, February, March, April. So about 1 year and 3 months you are away from the availability of the immigrant visa. And like I said, I am thinking you are already documentarily qualified because, well, at least the NVC portal should definitely be already open for you to, become documentarily qualified. But if you want, you can, let me know in a follow-up comment. And for everyone who's watching this video, if you do have any follow-up questions, do not hesitate to ask them. All the questions are welcome on this channel. I always appreciate it. Your questions give me the opportunity to make these videos. But make sure that you are not responding to my comment within your comment because YouTube does not send me those notifications. So please submit it as a separate comment. You can post it under any video on this channel, and I will see it on this wall and I will hopefully eventually address it. Unless I'm moving or doing something that like past week or 2 weeks, whatever. Okay, let's move on to the next question comment from Glorious Product Food Reviews 5859. Where do we mail the I-912 form? Great question. Thank you very much for asking. So the I-912, which is the fee waiver for USCIS petitions applications, basically you file it together with the application package for which you are requesting the fee waiver to be applied basically if it is approved by USCIS. So for example, let's say you are applying for, let's say you're doing the I-130 petition. You're starting a family reunification petition and you did your research on I-912 for the fee waiver, and from your research you determined that you do qualify for the fee waiver. So what you do is you complete your I-130 package, right? You print it out, you fill it out, you've done all of your documents, it's ready. Then you do your I-912. Again, you print it out, you fill it out, you provide all the information that is necessary for I-912. And then you attach that I-912 on top of that application package for the I-130, and you mail the whole application package together to where the I-130 has to be going. Let's say if it is N400, application for naturalization, obviously that one is going to a completely different place other completely different place than the I-130 or I-765 or I-131. Each application, each petition with USCIS, they have a different address that they need to go to. So if your I-912 is for N400, it will go where the N400 is going, together with the same application package. If it is for I-765, it's going with I-765 to where I-765 has to go. So I-912 is flexible like this. It can go anywhere, but it has to go where the main application is going for which you are requesting the fee waiver. Okay, so let me post the answer here, and we're gonna move on to the next question from Andresk1685. Hello, please help. My girlfriend's father, it looks like there's more, let me click on that. My girlfriend's father has been approved for asylum and is waiting for the residency. Okay, the father never placed his kids as beneficiaries in his asylum claim, and the 2-year period has already passed for my girlfriend. 18 years old currently, that's in the States. Can the father still file an I-730 form for her? Okay, so I-730 is a very similar form to I-130. Basically, it's kind of like a family reunification petition, only for people that have granted asylum, granted refugee status. It's a follow-to form, basically. And since your girlfriend is 18 years old, under 21, that is, as long as child is under 21, they can be part of the I-730 petition. So yes, the father can definitely file that petition for her, absolutely. One thing that I wanted to kind of take a note of, though, in your comment, you said the 2-year period has already passed for my girlfriend. So I'm not entirely sure which 2-year period that you are referring to. Now let me go to the I-730 and see if there is any limitations that I'm not familiar with, that I'm not aware of. Let's take a look. Might as well use this as an opportunity to demonstrate again navigation on USCIS and how easy it is to find information. So what we're gonna do is, because I'm searching for a 2-year period, I'm going to the instructions for the form I-730, because that's where you would find that information. Actually, there you go. If you're a principal refugee admitted to the United States within the past 2 years, or a principal asylee who was granted asylum within the past 2 years, you, the petitioner, may use this form to request that your spouse and unmarried children under 21 join you in the United States. Okay, so there is in fact a 2-year period I did not know of, so thank you for bringing this up. I really appreciate it. See, as you guys get the information from this channel, I also get the information from you guys, from your questions. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing for me. Absolutely a blessing for me. So I'm really grateful for your questions. So within 2 years, let's see, the principal refugee admitted to the United States within the past 2 years, or a principal SC who was granted. So in your girlfriend's situation, her father is granted asylum within the past 2 years. So let's take a look again at your comment. The father never placed his kids. My girlfriend's father has been approved for asylum and is waiting for the residency. The father never placed his kids, and the 2-year has already passed. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that we are clear on this 2-year period, right? If he has been granted asylum longer than 2 years ago, then no. Unfortunately, it's too late to file the I-730 for your girlfriend. The only option here that I'm seeing is, since sounds like he already applied for the residency, for the permanent residence. The only thing that I see right now is for him to actually get that permanent residence and then file an I-130 petition for his daughter, because she's still under 21 and he is definitely able to do it. He can definitely file that I-130. But if he was granted asylum less than 2 years ago, let's say if he entered the United States more than 2 years ago, but he was granted asylum less than 2 years ago, then he can still file the I-730. The fireplace. So from your comment, it's a little bit hard for me to understand which one it is. Did he enter the country more than 2 years ago, or did he get the asylum more than 2 years ago? If that's the second one, then unfortunately no, he cannot file the I-730. The only option that, well, there's a lot of options. For your girlfriend, I don't know if she's here in the United States. It sounds like she is. You said that's in the States. So if she's here, then obviously whatever status she has here, it's going to be a little bit easier. Just make sure that she maintains the status in the United States, her legal status, if it's a visa, whatever it is, and then wait until the father gets the permanent residence, and then he can petition for her now as a I-130, which is of course the process, but there are still options, so don't be discouraged. So let me post the answer here, and we're gonna move on, see if we have time for one more question today from VF36918. Thank you for the helpful information. You're very welcome. Thank you for watching. I have a question regarding the response in section 7.2. Should I list all the countries I have visited throughout my life, or only those I visited during the period after leaving my country and before arriving in the USA? So that was a question posted on the video for the application for temporary protected status I-821. So let's do the same thing for this one as well, and we're gonna go to, again, all forms, and we're gonna type in, we're gonna actually open up the application 821. There we go. Application for temporary protected status, nicely available to file online. Always great to see that. Hopefully USCIS will implement more online applications for more petitions. So let's take a look. Let's see, where is the application itself? So forms and documents. If you are not filling out the application online, or if you want to preview the application, you can find them under forms and documents on all of each individual application page. So I'm going to click on the form I-821. And we're gonna scroll down to, let's see, you said section 7.2. Let's see, section 7.2. Let's see, so I'm assuming that would be part 7. There you go. 2. Name of all the other countries to which you traveled and entered prior to entering the United States. Okay, so let's see. Enter the United States. So this is the information eligibility basis for, so provide the following. I'm a national of whatever country that is the eligible for TPS. Makes sense. I entered the United States on the following date. Makes sense. Have you ever traveled to and entered another country other than the one listed in item number 1A, which is you are national of, before you last entered the United States? Yes or no? If you answered yes, in your case, that sounds like it would be yes, because it sounds like you did travel. Provide the information requested in item number 2-5 for each country you traveled to and entered prior to entering the United States. If you need extra space to complete the section, use the space provided in part 11, additional information. And then dates that you were in other countries, your immigration status, if any. Yes. So in this situation, definitely you have to name all the other countries to which you traveled and entered prior to entering the United States. All of the countries. So it's not just between the let's say you're a national of let's see, Somalia. I think Somalis, they have a TPS right now for Somali. So let's say you traveled from Somalia to somewhere else, and then you came to the United States. And now you're just listing basically that one other country that you traveled to in between Somalia and United States. No, that's not the case. You have to put all of the countries to which you traveled prior to entering the United States, which means your whole list of all the countries that you traveled to. Looks like they do request that information, and in some situations it might be a lot of countries to list. And if that's the case, then yes, you definitely do need to use the part 11, which you will see it's just a blank. This is it, just this blank list, which they attach to most of the applications. If you do need additional information entered on here, what you do is basically you list well, obviously you fill it out with your name, your alien registration number if you do have that already, and then you put it page number, part number, item number, and then you just type in your additional information, so the country, whatever the dates are for the entering and leaving the country. So they do have that information, so you definitely have to provide that information. So that's it for the volume 151. I'm going to be addressing the rest of the questions. Hopefully I will be able to catch up to some of them with all the time that I've missed. But again, thank you very much for all your comments. Hopefully my answers were helpful. Again, keep in mind, this is not a legal advice. This is not, I don't provide any kind of consultation, immigration services or anything like this. That's why this channel is called Free Immigration Help. I'm familiar with this, with the process, with a lot of the things, because I went through it myself. So if I have the opportunity to answer your questions and help out somebody with the information on this channel, it's a blessing. It is a blessing. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your time. God bless, and I'll see you all in the next video.